With the Miami Heat actually making it to the finals, overachieving in my opinion, they are now in great talks to add a scorer who they desperately need to the reins, and that's Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal to me is a certified bucket, and he's absolutely somebody they should go after. If you really look at how the Miami Heat struggled down the stretch, I mean, Jimmy put on some heroics late game in that last game, but guess what? That's not what we know Jimmy for. Now, ironically, Jimmy is one of the most clutch players in NBA history. I just said that. He's one of the most clutch players in NBA history. Yet, we don't know Jimmy to be a scorer, knockdown shooter, things of that nature. But you know who you do look at as a certified bucket, can get it whenever he wants to from any part, 3-level scorer? Bradley freaking Beal. And guess what? They are now trying to make a run at it. The serious talks, the news reports are now that there are serious talks between the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat with the Washington Wizards to get that done. Who gets it? I think it's going to be Miami for one and two reasons. One, I think that because they can give up the 18th overall, because they're going to also give up the future first round pick, they could dump a Duncan Robinson, they could even dunk a Kyle Lowry and be able to make this a more appealing offer. Plus, it's actually one of the places that Bradley Beal wants to be. Bradley Beal's no trade clause makes this one of the most difficult things. So you're not going to see him garner the same respect contractually on paper that you saw KD, Rudy Gobert, stuff like that. It's just not going to happen because of that no trade clause. That actually carries a lot of weight, and it actually dampers trade talks severely. With that being the case, I say yes. Go for it. If you look at what the Miami Heat struggled with, you look at there's just key moments. You got to think about it. I think Max Strus at one point was 1 of 17 for like 2 games. I could be wrong, but he had a horrible showing. Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, I think, was also struggling. Like, these players, they got the most out of them. They really did get every ounce of ability out of these players. It just wasn't enough. Yet they made it to the finals. They beat a healthy Celtic team. I don't care what nobody says. JT got hurt that last game. That's cool, whatever. But Duncan Robinson not Duncan Robinson. Tyler Hero didn't play mostly the entire, playoff run, and he was their 20-point a game scorer. He was a necessity for them. They still managed to put them down 3-1, and it's like they shouldn't have even been in that position. They shouldn't have even gotten that close. So they're doing something right in Miami. They're doing something. Spoelstra, Pat Riley, they're clicking on all cylinders when you look at it from the way they vet talent, the way they train talent, the way they develop talent, and things of that nature. The culture there is a winning culture for sure. And you know what? Bradley Beal hasn't had that opportunity to be a part of a winning culture. To me, that makes them the most attractive option. It's one of those things where, they made it to the finals, but he's not going to go down there and be viewed as a bus rider. He's not going to go down there and view as someone ring chasing. They need someone like him. He's going to be the man by necessity, because that's just not what Jimmy does. That's not how Jimmy gets. Jimmy plays a very team-oriented game. He can't get buckets when he needs to. That's why he got the nickname Jimmy G Buckets. But at the same time, it's like, if we had someone else down the stretch taking that shot, a little more proficient, a better offensive bag, you would like it. And you know what? Bradley Beal fills that gap. What they give up for him, honestly, there's not a situation in which they give up. Let me take that back. There's a situation where they give up too much. I do think giving up Tyler Hero in that trade would be giving up too much. You can't get rid of both of your knockdown shooters. I know a lot of people, I've gone back and forth with this, but I've said that the biggest gripe I've ever had against Spo is he had the opportunity to have one of the most legendary backcourts as far as Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero coexisting and being knockdown shooters if you just found a way to make that work, and he went away from it. He went away from it when Duncan had a bad season, and I don't think that was the right thing to do. I've been very critical about that, because guess what? It's going to happen. And if you play them sporadically and stuff like that, I understand, but that's a development point. Duncan Robinson to me could be pivotal. He could be key for a team who needs a shooter. Heck, the Bulls need a shooter. We should be in talks to try to get him if there's a way to try to grab him from Washington if he ends up in that trade. However, I saw a trade where they traded Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, 18th overall, and a future first round pick. That's way too much to give up for Bradley Beal. for what the Heat have. That's, I hate to say it, but that's like you're taking their two best shooters and giving up the pick. Nah, I can't do that. I give you one of my shooters, I give you a pick, and I give you a future first. That just makes sense. That's a fair trade. Plus that no trade clause, Bradley ain't going everywhere you want him to anyway. But that's just my thoughts, man. I want to hear your thoughts. This is one of those things where him going to the Miami Heat, I think puts them right back into the playoffs. I'm not going to say finals contingent. I'm not going to say that because I don't know what the league is going to look like. It's still early. Still a lot of moves to be made. But if nothing else drastically changes, I can see the Miami Heat right back in it. Second round at the least. I do feel like Jimmy Butler is going to get Miami a ring. I do feel that. I feel like Jimmy needs help. Bam wasn't enough. Tyler was injured, but I do feel like Jimmy's going to get a ring there. I absolutely feel like that. And I feel like Bradley Beal is going to be the right person to help him do so. I think collectively they get a ring done, and it's going to be a very glorious day in Miami. I actually feel that. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear whether you think that they should give up Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, or is that too much? I want to hear whether or not you think that, just Duncan Robinson, the 18th overall, and the future first is enough. And give me your projection as to where you think they'll land. I think just to solidify this, 18th overall, Duncan Robinson, future first, that's not a robbery. I think that's fair. And I think that gives, Washington's in full rebuild mode. So that pick, that first round pick, that 18th overall, that matters. And I think that's one of the best offers they're going to get. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. Whether it's left, whether say put it in the comments, I'll be in there with you. Till next time.